Welcome back. I am your girl, Saran Baker. I'm here live with you every week. So, welcome to my weekly live. I'm so excited to be here this week and get this thing started. Let's just take a few minutes to just woosah. It's been a busy month. I don't know about you, but I have been running like crazy, and it's exciting, and it's exhilarating, and it's exhausting too. But welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I want to make sure that we are in the building today. We're ready to rock and roll. We're going to get going. And so, for those who don't know, what if I told you that there was a way for you to create an income stream you cannot outlive? What if I told you there was a way for you to use financial vehicles to build your dreams, to buy businesses, buy a franchise, start that crafting business, go into investing, do stock options trading, do cryptocurrency, do more real estate deal, do commercial real estate, have a way to do charitable giving? What if I told you that there are ways to do that? What if I told you there was a way for you to buy luxury vehicles and homes and beach houses and all the things that you say you want as a part of your lifestyle and the dreams that you want to do? And that's what we're here to talk about today. We are here in this place to provide you with information, guidance, love, and support. So let me reintroduce myself. My name is Saran Baker, and I help high income, high net worth women go from chaos to calm with their finances. Chaos being can't handle any obstacle sent, and calm being control, abundance, legacy creation, and money mastery. And I exist to help them to take full control and power of their money so that you can be your best self and still not just live paycheck to paycheck, because you wouldn't believe how many women are six figures plus and still somehow living paycheck to paycheck. So I'm here to help stop and break that cycle. So this week we have I have a very special guest with me. And this week we're really going to dig into a very complex topic that can be very easy if you take the time to understand it. And usually every week I come to you with a story, but this week I don't have a story. But I do want to give a special shout out to somebody who's very special, who supports this channel on a regular basis. More often than you know, she does all my graphics. She does the amazing video that started right before I talk. I play that video in the beginning and the end. She does a lot of my social media marketing, takes my photos, does my video. She does everything. Anything I send her at some crazy last minute hour of the day or night, she gets it done for me. And today is her birthday. And her name is Sherelle Renee, or better known as Rel Renee, or goes by Pretty X Gritty, or the Rels NYC. You can find all those places. But I want to take a moment to shout her out for her birthday. And I am one of her number one fans, even though I feel like she's one of my number one fans, but I am one of her number one fans. So just if you're watching today, I know you're probably eating cake or some delicious dessert without me for your birthday, but I want to shout you out and say happy birthday. So this week is life insurance. This month is life insurance awareness month. And so I want to make sure that our audience really understands the power of the tool that they can use while they're living. Today, we're not going to talk about leaving money to anybody. We ain't going to talk about taking care of nobody else. We're not going to talk about paying bills. We're not going to talk about all the things that we think we already know about life insurance. We're going to talk about the thing you don't know about it. And we're going to talk about what it's costing you for not knowing about it, right? And one of the things that I know one of my mentors in the industry always talks about is that we are unknowingly and unnecessarily wasting our money in ways and spaces and places that are to our detriment, that remove us from our place of greatness and uplifting and being able to move forward, to places of stagnation and being stuck and being in a place where we feel like we're not moving forward, but we're moving backwards, and just those types of things. So today we're going to talk about how you can level up. So if you got a dream to become a real estate agent, you got a dream to be in stocks and investing, if you have a dream to become the first millionaire in your family and create generational wealth to move forward, then those are the types of things that we're going to be talking about today with our very special guest. And she is no stranger to being on camera with me because for about a year, she and I, maybe 18 months, maybe a little bit longer, we went live every Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. on the Millionaire Ladies Mob YouTube channel. You can still find it. All that good information is out there in the internet street. And we went live for a year to 18 months. It's about 50 or 60 videos if I did the math the other day. And but she's an amazing entrepreneur. I'll call her a serialpreneur because she owns and manages several six-figure plus businesses in the Atlanta area. She is amazing mom, grandmom, auntie, and caregiver to her mom and her family members. But she's not just all of those things. She's one of my friends in the industry, and she coaches me, and I coach her, and we help another along in a male dominated industry to be successful and to stay successful. And so I'm going to bring her on because we're going to have a real conversation today about real ways that real people are using life insurance and cash value life insurance to really change their lives in ways that you never thought of, because we are in because sometimes we find ourselves stuck in the old rhetoric of go to school, get a good job, go to school, get a degree, get a good job, work on that job for 30 or 40 years, and then retire. And what a lot of people are finding is that they're not able to do that. They're retiring and then having to get new jobs, not out of choice, but out of necessity. And then some people end up there and they get there and they haven't lived their dreams and they want to be stuck there. And one of the things I'll share with you before I bring Carmen on is how I even find myself in the industry of financial services. Is I was really looking for ways to build my retirement and find a way to pay off six figures in student loan debt. And coming into the industry and into the knowledge of how to do that, it gave me the push to say, I'm going to be an evangelist. I'm going to tell people how to do these things. And I'm going to share my wisdom and knowledge that I gained along the way through not the easy of times, through tough times, through the up, through downs, through fighting my way through being unemployed, filing bankruptcy, coming back from that, building and tearing down my own credit and putting it back up, and doing all the things that we sometimes feel like we are separated from people who are on video and doing videos and teaching people how to do things. But we are just like you. We're human beings and we have these challenges. So I'm going to bring my friend Carmen on in one moment. You all know I like to do a weekly affirmation. And this week's affirmation, which I will share with you all in the chat, is I am a magnet for manifesting incredible miracles. I am a magnet for manifesting incredible miracles. And that to me, I share that weekly affirmation with you this week because that to me helps you to understand, will help you to understand that you can be the magnet in your own life to create an incredible life if you choose to be that magnet to create that incredible life. Again, I am a magnet to create an incredible. Oh, I forgot what it was. Hold on. I wrote it down. I said it. I am a magnet for manifesting incredible miracles. So I want to make sure that you have that. But with that, without further ado, I want to bring to the forefront my friend, my colleague, my buddy, if you will, in the industry, and that is Carmen Bernard of the Big Facts Group. So let me exit solo. Like, hey, Carmen, say hello to the people and welcome yourself into the room.
Friend, hey sister, here Millionaire Ladies Mob sister. We will be back with Millionaire Ladies Mob. We're just on a hiatus right now. Welcome. Thank you so much for having me on your Monday Night Live. I don't even know if I've gone live on a Monday night ever before, so I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Um, I go Mondays, and that the Thursdays we were working real hard. I was doing Mondays and Thursdays with you guys, and I was working double time.
It was really hard. Anything can be done if you're committed to it, but sometimes there's only 24 hours in a day, and you went live on Monday. I went live on Wednesdays. Aaliyah was going live sometimes on Fridays. Then we went live on Thursdays, and we did it for a very long time, every single Thursday. We kind of took a step back and was doing it twice a month. But even with that, sometimes life gets in the way, as they say, life just be lifing. Excuse the grammar there, but
Right.
sometimes it just becomes a little bit too much. You will never understand how fast the week goes when you have something that has to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what? It's Thursday already. So yeah.
Listen, every time I was turning around, Monday was happening, Thursday was happening, Monday was happening. But that's neither here nor there. We talk all the time, so we don't really gotta catch up. But today, it's exciting because it's Life Insurance Awareness Month, right? As you've been talking about as well in your education and the things that you do. And so today we're here and we're specifically only talking about how you can use life insurance, the correctly structured life insurance policy cash values to change your life and to change your family's life right now while you're still living, using the power of that tool to leverage it to grow. Now, in preparing for the show, because what y'all don't know is you have to prepare to do a show. We talked about a lot of different things that you, the viewers, may be interested in, but there's so many different ways. There's limitless ways to leverage it up. And so I want to ask you, I want to invite you, Carmen. Tell me one or two of the ways that you know that we can use cash value to change our lives now while we're living, and how you've either used it yourself or had some help some of your clients to use it that way.
Yes, that's being it's Life Insurance Awareness Month. It's a good time for us to make our viewers aware of what they can do with life insurance. I mean, life insurance is one of those topics that would clear a room. People do not want to hear about it, right? Whether it's because of some old saying that they've heard that life insurance, you're calling death on yourself, or it's just not good, or whatever. People don't like to talk about it. But tonight, I think you guys want to stick on to tonight to listen to the things that you can do, or so that you can be aware of the things that life insurance can do other than just a death benefit. So as Saran said earlier, we're not going to be talking about when you're gone. We're talking about life insurance while you're alive and how you can use it. And so I'm going to say one of the first things. She mentioned it in the top of the hour, and that was, how would you like to create an income stream that you would never, ever outlive? That is one of the benefits of life insurance, that you can tell us how much money you plan right now, what it is that you need to live for the rest of your life. So if you're going to retire at age 65, age 50, age 55, you tell us what it is that you want, how much it is that you want, and we will show you how to do that. So one of the biggest things that you can do with life insurance is create an income stream. Let me go back. Tax-free income stream that you cannot outlive. I'm just going to start there.
I love that because I know you've done that for hundreds of clients, right? And they love it. And to be clear, right, we're not replacing anything you already have. We're adding to the what you can do with it. Now, one of my favorite things to help people do with it is to use it for real estate investing. And so to build that cash, leverage it, make it one of your OPMs, your other people's money, replace the 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 high interest loans, the hard money loans. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word hard money. Hard. Replace hard money loans with lower interest loans that you control, and unstructured debt and unstructured repayments to create that space for yourself, so that you're not paying the 10, 15, 20% to a hard money lender, but you're using your own bank to do it to do it yourself. Also, not just that, if you're flipping properties, but if you're going in and you're just becoming an investor on some real estate turnkey properties, where you're working with turnkey properties and you're going in and you're just a small part of the investor and you're receiving a small part of the money back, where you research them properly and set it up, then that's a great way to do it. And that's one. You want to name another one?
I just want to say about that, right? That is so super awesome that you can do that with this product or this tool, right? Because that's what it is, right? Just like money, it's just a tool and it's how you use it. And in this case, life insurance is almost like a what's the tools when you could pull out like all different ones, it's like a
The
knife.
Swiss Army knife.
It's a, it's a
It's the Swiss
Swiss
Army knife
Army
for
knife.
money.
It's a Swiss Army knife, right? It all depends on what it is that you want to do. You pull the right one out, right? You could pull out like a little spanner thing. You could pull out a little wrench thing. You could pull out a
Mm-hmm.
little knife thing. You could pull out different things, right? And so in this case, we already identified two tools that you can do. Investing in real estate. Listen, there's only so much time. So you can get one job, two jobs, three jobs, four jobs, but at some point in time, you're going to run out of time, right? That's trading time for money. And if you want to be able to bring in some money passively that you don't have to trade your time for, this is a great way to be able to do this. This is a
Right.
great way to what you hear people talk about, being your own bank, because instead of having to go borrow that money from the bank, and don't get me wrong, there may be times when that might be the right thing to do or the best thing to do, but this is a viable thing that you can do by being able to use your money that you have sitting there to buy some assets that will bring you passive income or residual income in the future, where you're not trading time for money. So that is super, super awesome, an awesome one,
Yeah, and I
right?
love that, because I want to talk about something fun. Something fun you can do it, right? Because some of it is like, oh man, that's more work I gotta do. Now let's talk about something fun. Y'all know, I don't know if y'all know, but it's my birthday and I'm gonna be traveling. But here's a fun way to use it. You can use the cash value to travel. Oh my God. And so it's a bunch of different ways to do it, but one of the ways I like to do it is I go and I book my travel on my points generating card. I get the points, right? And then I pay off my card with my cash value from my policy, right? And now I'm paying a much lower interest rate than the credit card is, and I can pay it back unstructured however I see fit. But I also now have the points to spend any way I choose going forward. And you do that enough times, now you've got enough points to travel for free in the future. But you also haven't paid any high interest back on that debt. You've paid nominal interest on it, and you've been able to flip it and keep doing it multiple different ways. And now you can use it as a 2 or 3-way play. So you're taking that dollar and you use it 1, 2, 3, 4 times to do the things you want to do, right? I know a lot of people have a bucket list thing to travel the world. Mine has always been to travel the world ever since I was 2021. But now it's even more driven for a lot of people post pandemic, post COVID, because it's like, man, if I'm gonna die, I'm not gonna die having sat in the house all day. I'm not going out like that. I'm not going out. All I did was get up and go to work, come home, or get up and go to work, come school, and take care of the family. And all those things are important. But we're not here to just exist in that little rat race in that circle. We're here to live and enjoy and explore and do different things. So I wanted to name something fun in between, because there's a lot of serious ways to do it. There's limitless ways to do it, right? And we're not going to come up with all of them today on an hour discussion that we're going to have, but we're just giving you the sky's the limit. Your imagination is the limit for how you can do it and what you want to do. So go ahead, Carmen, with another one that they can use. We already did retirement. We did some of the real estate investing because there's a lot of different real estate investment strategies, right? Buying notes and all the other stuff. And then we did that. We did travel. Go ahead with another one. Something fun. See if you can come up with something fun.
I like that. I like that one. I like that one. That's fun. About definitely traveling, being able to pick up extra points to go on another vacation. But that's super awesome. So another thing, right? If I can't think of something really fun right now, but this is fun. Making money to me is fun. All right. So you can use your cash value to buy stocks and bonds. You can use your cash value, let me say it again, to invest, right? You can use that. You can buy stocks, you can buy bonds, you can buy mutual funds, any of these things that that you're aiming to achieve a higher return. Now, why that is super awesome. You're not using your money, you're using other people's money, right? So, and what do I mean by that? We'll get into that later, but here it is. You can borrow the money from here, go put it here so that it can bring back a bigger gain, which is just the same thing like she was talking about with the real estate, right? When you with the flipping, if you were just doing buying a real estate and flipping that property, or what was the other thing? The turnkey type properties where it's bringing in income. Now you have used that money. There's not, you didn't come out. Listen, tell me, what do you think? And I'm not saying you, for our audience. And by the way, please share this video, like the video, share the video. Don't be an undercover watcher. Just come on, let everybody know about this information. We're all trying to get everyone else to level up. So share it. And I'm talking to you who see me later and say, I saw you on. I didn't see you like my thing and I didn't see you share it. So share it tonight. But but
look, and leave us a comment. I forgot I put myself on mute.
Leave us a comment. Please do something, right? Leave us a comment, tell us something. But when you are taking money and using it, that's going to bring you back money that you didn't basically have any risk. You didn't put anything to it because you're using somebody else's money. Do you know what the return on that is?
100%.
That's infinite.
Yes.
That's infinite returns. You took what you just did is you took nothing and turned it into something.
And it wasn't your money.
It wasn't your money. And if that's a little bit too hard to understand, I'm gonna give you an example, right? Saran, if I told you that I can get you got $1,000 and no, I told you if you give me $1,000, I'm gonna turn it into $10,000. If I say that to you, Saran, give me $1,000 and you trust me, it's not a scam. You know me, you know you're gonna get it. I say, give me $1,000, I'm gonna turn that into $10,000. You look into your bank account and you realize you don't have $1,000 in your bank account. What could you do to get that $1,000, Saran?
Well, first of all, I'm gonna have the $1,000. But so for some people, they consider they wouldn't have it, right? And what would happen is that will be lost opportunity, and it wouldn't be. And the cost of that wouldn't be the $1,000 they didn't have. The cost of it will be the $10,000 they did not make.
That's right.
And so for a lot of us, having the cash value built up in a safe place like a policy would be my opportunity to get $1,000 if I wasn't disciplined enough or I didn't have it readily available. would have that $1,000 from your policy to use it to now go make it 10 times that, and it only costs you zero because you use other people's money to get it, and you go put the $1,000 back, and now you've made $9,000 you didn't have. And so I think it's
Bingo.
important that we use that example, because it's not always that not having money is a problem because we can't pay our bills and we can't make ends meet. Not having money means we don't have money to take advantage of opportunities for us to leverage that money to get more money. Or not having good credit doesn't necessarily is not necessarily all the issue. Isn't always because you can't get more stuff. The issue is you don't have good enough credit to leverage it to make more money to get the things that we need, right? And one of my favorite YouTube mentors, and I got to be specific, is, Myron Golden talks about that there's four different types of people, and what we believe about money are different at each level, right? And it's not four. So broke people think money is to pay bills. Broke people think I go to work to make money to pay bills to just make it. Middle class people, or people who have a little bit more, they think money is meant to get credit so they can buy more stuff they couldn't afford in the first place, right? But rich people think the purpose of money is to make more money. And until we level up our mindset to the place where we think that money's purpose is to make more money, then we'll always be in a place where we're just making it. And so understanding that making more money is not always about the big boss moves, or did I make $1,000,000, or did I make 500,000, or did I make 100,000? Did you make $50? Did you make $100? Did you make $200? Right? Because as one of when you're in business, if you don't have a pool of mentors, you're in the wrong place, right? Because you're just not going to make it. And one of my mentors literally texts me every day, and he'll say, hey, what did you sell today? Who did you help today with your certain products and services? How many people, and what did you make? He'll ask me that every day, because it's not about one big deal. It's about every day doing something to level up. And so when we get ourselves, when we and it was, I'm sorry, I said four different types of people. It's three. So the broke people think we're here to pay bills. Middle class people think we're here to get credit to buy more stuff we can't afford in the first place. And then rich people are trying to make money with their money. And the other thing is that they don't use the money that they make to buy the things they want and need. They use the money that they make to make more money. And the money that they made with the money that they were trying to make more money, that's what they buy the stuff with. Right? And so it's a mindset shift, and it takes time, because a lot of us are breaking those thought patterns, not from stuff we learned from 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, that are ingrained into our mindset and into our neuropathic ways. And we got to go in and disconnect that stuff, like taking a computer apart, to figure out, how I'm going to reprogram myself to think differently. And when you get $1,000, not think, oh, I have $1,000, I can pay these things off, I can do these things. But how do I take this $1,000 and make it work for me in the long term? And how do I take this $1,000 and make another $100, or make another 50, or make another $200? Because now you made that money do more than it was supposed to do.
Listen, I am so happy that you brought up mind shift, shifting, changing our mindsets, or shifting our mindset, right? Because now, like you said, I am gonna have that $1,000 because I can go to this policy and get it out. But if I might be talking to a viewer today that said, "Well, I would just have to miss out on that money," like you said, because I don't have it, right? And that is a lost opportunity. My thing is, though, we have to shift our minds, right? If you have to go borrow $500 from two people to get that $1,000, because you knew it was a sure thing that you were going to get this $1,000, even if those two people told you, "I'll lend you the $500, but I want you to pay me back 100% interest."
Right.
So now you're going to be paying them back 1,000 each, right? So you borrowed 1,000, now you're paying back 2,000, right? So if you did that and then that money was flipped to the 10,000, even if you paid them back 2,000, you still have $8,000 in your hand that you made out of nothing,
Nothing. I think
right?
like you're saying, it's the mentality, the fear, right? Because some people have been burnt by the investment and the opportunity to grow in a business, or they've had a negative issue, right? And so I try to correct when I talk to people and they have kind of that fear mindset. Well, I did this one thing and it didn't work. Well, how many times did you have to get up when you were learning how to walk? How many times did you fall off your bike when you were learning how to ride a bike? How many times did you skin up your knees learning how to skate? And that's my story because I skinned up my knees learning how to skate on a hill with no knee pads, right? But what did you do? Would you tell a child to stop learning to walk because they fell down? Because technically they failed. Would you tell a child to stop trying to ride a bike because hey Leah, I see Leah's here, because you couldn't get yourself, because they couldn't do it? Would you tell a child to stop practicing their math because they got it wrong or they failed a test? Well, that's what we're essentially telling ourselves when we ventured out to do something and we didn't have great results. And I challenge people to think about it like this: what was your mindset when you went at it? Because I'd be a liar if I got on live and talked to you or anybody else and said I never failed at anything, or I never failed at a business before, right? Or I never failed at a job, or I never failed a test, or I never made any mistakes that I had to go back and correct. And so the thing is to understand that it's about failing forward. And so if you had that challenge and you have the fear mentality, well, you got to go work on your mindset, because this may not be the place or the conversation for you, because this conversation is for people who already are thinking about how can they change their situation 10 times, 100 times, to a place where they can leverage everything they have at their disposal. And so if what you have at your disposal is $100 or $200 a month, how do you take that? Or $500 a month, or even $1,000? How do you take that and leverage it and put it in a place where you can create things for yourself that you know that you'll have the opportunity to take advantage of things that come into place that may be the right thing for you? And understanding that sometimes we have to fail forward to the thing that we're going to do. Because had I never started any of the other business I started in my 20s, and I'm still in my 20s though, by the way, y'all just go with it, right? Any of those other businesses in my 20s, I would have never got to this place now where I'm at, where I am succeeding, where I am building six-figure business, where I am teaching other people how to build six-figure businesses, where I am helping others to create the life that they want to live. And so we look at this money this way. We look at, using this cash value to create the ecosystem surrounded on you. And that's why they call it be your own bank. That's why they call it infinite banking. That's why they call it private equity strategy. That's why they call it private investment. Putting yourself in a place where you don't have to ask nobody nowhere anytime for nothing to go and do an investment and create additional income stream for yourself. So I'll get off
Well,
my high horse. What's some of the other ways that they can use this?
that is correct, right? I just wanted, just to get that over there about some things. But many of us are raising children, and college is super expensive.
Mm-hmm.
This is a way to fund college. This is a way to, there are, and listen, nothing that we are saying are be all end alls. These are different things that you can do. So, if when your child is in the uh, pre-kindergarten, kindergarten, whatever, eighth grade, whatever, you start doing some other things like applying for scholarships and all these other different things that you can do. That along with, and of course it depends on how much you fund it. So I don't want anybody to walk away from our conversation today thinking I can't do this because it takes so much money. It takes so much. It's not something I can afford. Do not discredit yourself or tell yourself no before. But using this as a way to fund college is another thing that you can do with life insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Are you aware of that? It's Life Insurance Awareness Month, and we are making you aware of all the different strategies that you can use with life insurance while you're alive. So, for those people who say life insurance is not going to benefit me because, yeah, it's going to benefit the people after I die, I'm talking about you right now. You.
We're talking about you. We're talking about meeting your dreams. I want to go back to something, Carmen, because we talked about it briefly. And I only want to go back to it because I know so many of the people that I talk to and so many people who watch us live, watch me live and watch the replay, they have an interest in these things. So I want to get specific about ways you can use the cash value to invest in real estate. And so here's a list. You can join some real estate investment groups with the money, with the cash, where you're going in a group setting and you're investing in real estate together. You can get into what they call, if you're familiar with real estate investment trusts, right? They're called REITs. You probably heard that word before, REITs. They have publicly traded ones and they have public non-traded ones and they have private REITs, but you got to have cash to be a part of it, right? You can do things in there's certain spaces and places in the real estate world where you can do crowdfunding, where you can help other people fund their real estate, but you become an investor and you get paid from it, right? The most known way is the fix and flip. You can do that. But then you have some real estate limited partnerships, right? And those you may not know about it, but you're invested in it, but you're invested financially, but you're not doing the physical work. Someone else manages the property, does the toilet and the doors and all the stuff that we don't want to get into, right? You could acquire some property and lease it that's already taken care of. And that kind of falls into the fix and flip too. You could do vacation rentals. You can do commercial property. You can do some rent to own processes. There are ways and spaces where you could literally own the mortgage note for a home and be the private lender, and you collect the mortgage payment as the real estate investor for someone that you're selling the house to. So they are real estate mutual funds and that's called owner finances, where you own the property already and you also finance it. New home construction, you can do some new home construction investment. You can do, I mean, so you see how I say there's a limitless list. And so I wanted to share that. I had to go pull up my notes, right? You can become the hard money lender. How about that? Instead of going to someone else. Mobile homes. I actually have a client right now that we just set up her private banking strategy, and that's exactly what she does. She flips mobile homes. And they're super affordable. And I'm gonna have her on soon because she promised me she was gonna put together a way to teach people how to do it. And I'm gonna have her on to talk to the audience about it. But that's a long list, like 10 or 15 things you can do in real estate
I'm
if you
going to
know
even
what you're
add,
doing or if you take the time to learn, right?
and I'm going to even add
But
to
I
that
wanted to just
because
circle back. Go ahead.
I'm going to even add to that. You can invest in tax liens and tax deeds. A lot of times
Correct.
that requires you to have some available cash, and you can learn how to do tax liens and tax deeds. I'm going to tell you right now, I got interested in tax liens and tax deeds last year, and I have acquired several properties in different states. And so
Mhm.
this is another thing that you can do because you can use the money from there. Listen, tax deeds and tax liens, you either win or you win. You do not lose.
Either you win or
Um,
you win. Yes,
you
yes.
win or you win.
Right.
And so the thing is understanding and knowing how to do it properly. And that's where having a mentor work comes in. That's where being a part of a group comes in. That's where getting with partnering with someone who knows what they're doing comes in. Um, because I have a mentor that helps me understand tax deeds and tax liens. And believe it or not, you better believe it or not, you can. I'm going to have my own mentorship where I'm teaching about tax liens and tax deeds. So therefore, you using this strategy that we are talking about is another way. And tax liens and tax deeds is one of the backdoor ways and entryways into into real estate that many of us do not think about. And although everybody's getting wiser to it, and when I say everybody, Wall Street with their big deep pockets are coming in and kind of like wiping us out, there's still a lot of space for us to do it, because even with tax deeds and tax liens and tax deeds, there are additional ways to make money in real estate. In addition to what Saran mentioned, there's things like overage, there's things like over the counter properties. There are so many other things to do with that.
Listen, I love it because at the end of the day, we have to think about um what it is we really want to do, how we want to move, what our outcome is, what we want to put our energy into. We didn't get through half of the list that we prepared for this discussion today, right? So we talked about retirement, we talked about real estate. I won't even say exhaustively, but in depth. We talked about it in depth because we didn't exhaust all the ways that you can do it. We talked a little bit about college funding, using cash value to fund your college. We mentioned indirectly using it for startup cash to start a business or to get into various types of investments. We didn't mention, we said stocks and bonds, but we didn't talk about options trading. I know a lot of people now are trying to learn how to trade options. Well, guess what? After you do your paper trading practice, where are you going to find the money to do your first real trades? You know, you want to get into that. You can have a safe place to do that while you're learning, while you're paper trading, to learn to do that. Down payment, maybe you don't want to do investing, maybe you don't want to make money, but you do want to buy a house and you want to save for it. This is a good way to put a guaranteed, or a guaranteed investment, a guaranteed interest rate on your savings towards your down payment, right? And I want to make sure
And wait a
guaranteed,
minute, Saran.
say I want to make sure I correct myself because I used the wrong word. Guaranteed way to save with a reasonable interest rate. It is not an investment legally. Nobody will legally tell you that is an investment. It is a saving strategy. It is a place to park your money. It is like a garage where you put your car to protect it. It is like the safe with the key where you put your important documents at home. You put it there, but it's growing and it has some ability to be a place for it to grow. Go ahead. I was going to cover some more, but go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, and I didn't even trip over that you said that, but I'm glad that you said that, because we don't want anybody going around saying that, we said something incorrectly. Also, this is not advice. This is education, and we're showing you the ways that you should be aware of how you can use life insurance while you're alive during Life Insurance Month. But even with the saving for a down payment, the reason why it is so critical that this is one of the things that you do, most of us are saving for a down payment in a savings account. And most of us are not, especially with the big banks right now, since the interest rates have been, going up a little bit. The big banks are like, we don't care how much the interest rates go up. We don't care how much we charge you to use your money. We're going to still give you a 0.5%. You don't believe me? Go Google and see what the big banks are giving. You
Right.
can find some banks that are giving a little bit more than that, 0.5% and 0.25% and things like that. But here you will use your money, like she told you earlier. Find a way to make that money do more than one thing. So you're saving for a house, you're getting a guaranteed return. And yes, we said guaranteed return on the savings that you're putting in there just for your down payment. And it's still also protecting you for whatever else may happen, for life's ifs, for life's in case of. These are the things that we need to know. And Saran mentioned that a fun way was to use it for vacations. Wow, you have worked all your life and you think that you deserve that luxury car. Luxury goods, you can purchase your luxury goods with this, right? You can finance major purchases directly and avoid those interests, those high interest costs, avoid those financing costs from external loans. What you're doing right there is leveraging your money and using other people's money to purchase those luxury items that you want to purchase.
Yeah. I think it's a big deal for us to really understand all of these ways that um, we can use it while we're living, because I think we've got caught in the rat race of or burnt with the traditional ways that people use it. It doesn't mean it doesn't still work those other ways. But we're here to talk to you about an elevated conversation. This conversation is elevated, and this is for the person who you're trying to figure out how you're going to start your business without going into a lot of business loan debt. You're trying to figure out how to get your kids through college without creating a large amount of student loan debt. You're trying to figure out how to get into the real estate game without the hard money loans. You're trying to figure out how to supplement your retirement, because your retirement is going to be taxed, right? We're accumulating. You got 750,000, 500,000, 200,000. You got money in your retirement account. You know, I'm in the DMV, so it's a lot of government folks. You got all this money in your TSP, but guess what? You don't know how much you're going to be taxed, because the tax rates are going to change, right? And all the people that they say are high income, you'll become that high income person when you have a high tax savings account, a high amount of money in your qualified tax plan. You'll be considered rich. You'll be in those higher tax brackets that they're talking about, in some of those tax brackets that they're talking about increasing the taxes on. And so we have to be cognizant of our financial strategy, not just tax preparation, but tax planning for what and how you're going to manage, how you're going to pay tax in the future by diversifying and moving your money into different places. Now are the ways that you're going to be able to move things forward. So some of the other ways that you're going to use the cash value of life insurance, a properly structured life insurance policy. I want to be clear. We're not talking about the $25,000 death benefit final expense policy that we're used to receiving in melanated and minority communities. We're talking about the high dollar cash value insurance policies that get sold to business owners, to real estate investors, to government officials, to congressmen and senators and people and business owners who have large amounts of cash that they want to put in different places to protect it and to plan for their tax future. So it's important to know that. So some other ways you can use it. And I'm gonna say, and you said it's fun, but um I talked about travel, but some of the other fun things are, you know, trading, not just the options trading. Some people want to do forex, some people want to do cryptocurrency, some people are buying digital assets. You're buying the EFTs, I think I'm saying it right. NFTs. Reverse, right? I'm human. The NFTs. Some people want to buy a franchise. What if you had a franchise that you wanted to buy into? Did you know that buying into most franchises is at least a minimum of $10,000? And some up to 100,000, and depending on the type of franchise and the type of revenue that you are going to receive from that franchise in the beginning and starting it is going to be what is considered the amount of money you're going to have to put into, and then how much cash flow you have to show to keep that franchise. And so all these things are here, and it still does the traditional thing, but we're here to talk to you about doing non-traditional things that you will enjoy. Some people, and one of my mentors, he's bought $1 million properties, he's bought Lamborghinis, he's bought really nice cars and homes all over the country, and lots of travel and all those things. And so I can speak to you with an amount of certainty, knowing, one, I've done some of it, right? And two, I also have mentors who are teaching me how to do more and more and more of it to show you how to do it. And so the big thing is to really understand that it is limitless on how you can find ways to move different things. You want to start a restaurant, you have a proprietary recipe or something for hot sauce. And I'm using that as an example because my sister's messaging me and she's like the queen of hot sauce. And she made her own hot sauce. She made her own jerk sauce. She made all these really spicy things I cannot eat. But I know that she's
I
working.
love spicy.
Well, I'm gonna connect y'all. But I know that she makes these things, and those are things that we're helping her to monetize and making sure that you can think about those things. So if you're watching live, we got a few people watching, we got a bunch of people watching live. Go ahead, tell me some of the things. What would you do? And this is a good question, is what would you do if tomorrow we dropped, I'm gonna say we dropped $500,000 in your bank account, and the parameters are this: one, that $500,000 is tax free. The taxes are already paid. You don't have to pay taxes on it, so it's a true $500,000. What are some of the ways you would invest it and make it grow? And I'm specific in my instructions in investing it and making grow, because you are not allowed to do these three things: pay bills, pay somebody else's bill, or give it away. You have to invest it. You have to invest it. So tell us in the chat or send me a DM. But the idea is for us to start thinking past basic necessities and just surviving and helping other people to survive, right? What would you do to grow that $500,000? Even if you only grew that $500,000, $500 or $5,000, or, you know, $50,000. How would you grow that money? Because again, it's more than 100% return to you, because it ain't your $500,000. It's mine. I just loaned it to you to make money with it. So how you gonna make money with it? That's what we want to know. That's your assignment this week. Tell us how you're gonna make $500,000,
It's
bro.
infinite. It's infinite. And you know what? Yeah, while you guys are commenting or sending us a DM or something like that, another thing that we didn't touch on, and trust me, there's so many other things we didn't talk about, but another thing that we didn't touch on is getting out of debt. And many of you have debt and you're trying to get out of debt, and you're doing it by yourself. You're doing it by paying extra on bills. But I am here to tell you that there is a better way to get out of debt. And it's definitely not taking your money and just returning it to the creditors without that money having done anything.
Correct.
So, getting out of debt is super important. If you would like to know how you can get out of debt within 9 years or less, and for consumer debt, 3 years or less, but getting out of debt within 9 years or less, including your mortgage, including your student loans, you want to reach out to us, because this is another thing that you may not be aware that you can use life insurance to do while you are alive.
Yeah.
And again, just like we talked about, that that money, that when you're using other people's money, the return to you becomes infinite, not just what is the stated return. It becomes infinite because you did not risk anything, right? So with us paying your debt and getting rid of debt such as high interest credit cards, or maybe high interest that you're paying on personal loans, car loans, getting rid of that student loan. And listen, I'm not trying to tell you to rush and pay off your mortgage, right? Because if you're paying 2% on your mortgage and 3% on your mortgage and 1.5% on your mortgage, and the company says that they're going to wait 30 years for you to pay it off, let them wait 30 years for you to pay it off, and you take that extra money and do something with it. Because if you take the money and give it to them when they already told you, I'm going to wait 30 years for you to pay it off, you are missing out on some stupendous opportunities with what else you could be doing with that money. And that's what we have to, when we look at opportunity, it's not just what you see in front of you, it's what could have happened, what you could have gained, what you could have done with that money. So that's something else we didn't talk about, but paying off debt. And it's, we didn't mention about the ifs. What if you got sick?
Yeah, look,
What
that ain't even
what
look.
if?
We're not even going there. We talking about using the money. We talking about making money, and that's going to be another segment. And I'm doing a part. We're doing a part two. I'm doing a part two with Terrence Bardui, and then Carmen. I'm going to have you back because we have a different conversation to finish here. I think it's important to really understand. And we're going to shout everybody out. I see in the comments. I see you, Dr. Marcia. I see you, Karen. I see you, Sandra. How are you? I see you, Lonzy. I see you, Leah. Thanks for chiming in live. We appreciate it. Please leave us a comment and do the assignment. DM us. Let us know, what you're thinking. But I think that it's important to continue this conversation because it's about leveraging it and being strategic, especially if you're in that, not necessarily in that retirement red zone, which is that 5 years before, 3 to 5 years before retirement. But if you're in that, what I call where life is getting good zone, where you're approaching 50, you're approaching 50, you're early mid 50s, you're still, you still can put a little oil in your tank and get going. Right? You might have a little creaks and cracks, but you can still make it happen. Right? It's important to get these things in order. And a lot of people I know post pandemic, and I mentioned the pandemic because it's important, because so many of us have shifted our mindset, our belief systems, and what we're doing to saying, you know what, I'm not, if it's in my control, I'm not going to leave this life having not chased my dreams and having not done the things I said I wanted to do. And I put on pause because I was afraid. I wasn't unsure. I didn't know if anybody was going to support me. I maybe had a negative outlook, but you shifted your mentality to one of belief. You shifted your mentality of one of, if I fail, I'll get back up and keep going. I'll learn to do what I want to do. You shifted it to, if not me, then who is going to change the trajectory of my family? And so you're going after the dream. You're going after it passionately. And that's what coming to these types of conversations will do, is we're here to tell you what to do and where you can, and how to move forward. But I also want you to know that you don't have to go it alone. And that's where you get to connect with me or Carmen to do that. So Carmen, I want you to be sure to right now share how they can get in touch with you and connect with you on Instagram, on Facebook, and your website.
So if you want to find out anything about me, you can find it at trustcarmen.com. TRUSD, trustcarmen.com, and you'll find everything on there. If you're have any problems with that, I am on Facebook. It's Big Facts with Carmen. Instagram, Big Facts with Carmen, because that's what I bring to you, some big facts.
I always love that big facts brand. And so you can also connect with me. I'm at Saran T. Baker on all platforms. But the biggest thing, is for us to come together and to move forward. And Carmen, I want to thank you for coming today live with me on this platform. We've been on many other platforms together, but I want to thank you for coming here to Unblocking Your Path, Your Wealth, Going from Chaos to Calm with Your Finances. And I truly, truly appreciate you coming. And I want to also be of service to you. And so please, as always, I don't even feel like I need to say this to you because we're connected all the time. But if there's anything I can do to support you in the work that you're doing in your community in the greater Atlanta and throughout the United States too, please feel free to text me. Look, you don't got to connect me.
Goes,
Just text me, girl.
goes without
just,
saying, sis. It
just say,
goes without
Saran,
saying.
get on the phone. I got to ask you something like usual, but just get connected. So I'm going to close us out real quick. Hang back for me for a second.
Thank you.
So let me hit these buttons. All right. This has been another incredible episode of Unblocking Your Path to Wealth, Going from Chaos to Calm with Your Finances. I'm your girl, Saran, your host on this journey where we focus on the physical, mental, and financial aspects of building wealth and unblocking that path to wealth so that you can create the life that you love, that you feel that you want to manifest in this lifetime and enjoy and be able to pass it on for generations to come. I'm excited to have had an amazing guest this week, Carmen Bernard of the Big Facts Group. And next in our next show, we will have additional guests where we'll talk about the tools and tricks to move forward. But I want you to remember that this is about action. Feel free to connect with me on all platforms. Feel free to connect with Carmen on all platforms. But I have a couple of special announcements before I close us out today. I've mentioned on several of my podcast episodes that I am a new author, and my book will be dropping on Friday, September 20th at 1:30 p.m. It will be sold on barnesandnoble.com. And so I will be dropping the link in all my social media platforms via email and through text, and however I can get it to you, maybe even carrier pigeon, because I will be moving around the world at that time. The book is called Destiny Expose, the Anthology Leading Ladies Edition, and I'm excited to be one of the co-authors where we talk about leadership from various places and spaces. I have several authors that are a part of it. We have doctors, we have lawyers, we have judges, we have women who have been in the military, including a retired brigadier general who is a co-author, and myself. My chapter is I always get fumble when I get ready to say it because I get nervous. But my chapter is leading through loss, a sister mom's tale, where I talk about my journey to leadership as the guardian of my siblings after the death of my mom, right after graduating college, and how it changed my life and how it made me a different person and allowed me to be an empathetic and giving and loving leader, and allowed me to lead in so many different spaces. So I would love for you to get that book and not just read my chapter, but give us some feedback and share it with others. Additionally, I am excited to be able to introduce to you and share with you my first digital workbook. You can go to RichAuntieSecrets.com and you can get the workbook for yourself so that you can start working on your finances. And in there is everything. There's a tool to build your get out of debt plan. There's a tool for building a budget. There's a tool for planning your real estate. There's a tool for whatever it is you need for your finances. And you can get that workbook for the low price of $27. And it will help you to put yourself in a space, in a place where you can get things done. And if you're like me, you probably have papers everywhere. You're trying to figure out what this does and that does and trying to put everything together. And this workbook will allow you to put everything together and help you to move forward with your finances. So I'm excited to announce those two things, and I'll be back. Next week is my birthday. I will be going live. I wasn't going to, but I am going to go live, and I'll be in a very special place when I go live. I don't know exactly where that's going to be at that particular time and place, but I will be going live at 8:30 next Monday for my birthday. So I hope to see you there in that same space and place. And so, again, I appreciate all your love and support. Most of all, I appreciate you taking action, because I appreciate more to hear about your success stories from the things that we've talked about and the things that we're doing. So, it's your girl, Saran. Peace, love, and light. Let's get your money right. Bye.